Everyone thinks a travel hotspot like the GlocalMe G4 Pro is a roaming fee killer you can set and forget, but here's the thing, it can absolutely waste your money if you expect 5G speeds and unlimited data. The surprising truth, its real superpower is carrier redundancy and borderless convenience, not blazing throughput. I spent 21 days testing it across the US and Europe, running speed tests, streaming, tethering up to 10 devices, and even dropping in a local SIM. I wanted the unvarnished answer. Does this 179.99 box with a 3.9 Amazon rating actually make travel simpler, or is it just another gadget that dies in your backpack? What I discovered might change how you think about portable Wi-Fi. Before we dive into what I discovered, quick heads up. If you're already convinced and want to grab the best current price, there's a link below. But stick around because the gotchas, the workarounds, and a killer use case most people miss are coming up next. Here's why I needed this. I travel constantly for shoots and conferences. I've tried it all. Local SIMs that didn't activate at the airport, carrier day passes that torched my budget, and phone tethering that drained my battery before lunch. I once missed an upload window because my phone cooked itself trying to hotspot 2 laptops and a camera app. So the pitch of the G4 Pro hit me right in the pain. Cloud SIM that auto-selects the best local network in 200+ countries. No contract, pay-as-you-go, 4G LTE, dual-band Wi-Fi, up to 10 devices, a 5-inch screen with travel apps, and about 10 hours of battery. On paper, it sounded like freedom, but I've been burned by hotspots that looked great in the listing and crumbled in the real world. First test, urban stress test in New York City. Think crowded spectrum, patchy towers between skyscrapers, 3 phones, a laptop, and a tablet. On 5 GHz Wi-Fi, I averaged 2845 Mbps down and 1018 up midday, with latency in the 40-60 ms range. Not mind-blowing, but perfectly usable for Google Docs, YouTube at 720p, and a Zoom call that didn't choke. The Cloud SIM did something clever. It latched onto the strongest local network automatically. In one stretch where AT&T felt congested, the G4 Pro swapped to a stronger signal without me touching a thing. That's the win. But then, when I pushed it with 4 simultaneous streams, I saw dips to 1218 Mbps and latency crept up. Remember, this is 4G LTE, not 5G. Second test, airport landing scenario in Paris. I powered on as we taxied, and the G4 Pro found local coverage in under 2 minutes. Time to first usable page. About 90 seconds after unlocking the screen, which is solid when you're trying to order a rideshare. The included 1.1 GB of global data got me through the airport and hotel check-in before I had to choose a plan in the app. The onboard apps like Translator and Currency are neat for quick hits, but they still depend on data, so don't expect offline magic. As a visual, I filmed a split screen. On the left, my phone flailing to grab a roaming tower. On the right, the G4 Pro pushing out Wi-Fi to all devices. It's the calm you want right after landing. But then I tried a conference day in a dense venue, Interference City. On 2.4 GHz, things got noisy and inconsistent. Switching to 5 GHz made a noticeable difference. With 6 devices connected, I saw 1832 Mbps down and more jitter on video calls. Still workable, but the gap between marketing and reality shows up here. If you expect rock-solid performance in the most congested environments with lots of devices, you'll need to actively manage bands and keep your expectations in the 4G lane. Fourth test, local SIM fallback. The G4 Pro has a nano SIM slot, so I dropped in a local data SIM. Setup took about 3 minutes, including APN settings, and speeds bumped slightly compared to Cloud SIM in that area, landing me 35-55 Mbps down. That's a quiet superpower. You can run Cloud SIM when you're border hopping, then use a cheap local SIM when you're parked in one country for a week. Battery life, the spec says up to 10 hours. In mixed real-world use with 5 GHz on, 4-6 devices, and occasional video calls, I got 7-8 hours. On a heavy streaming day, it dipped to around 5. The 3900 mAh pack can top up a phone in a pinch, but think lifeline, not a full power bank. Also, the Wi-Fi range is fine for a small airbnb, but don't expect it to punch through concrete floors like a mesh router. Here's where it gets interesting. The biggest value wasn't peak speed, it was reliability through automatic carrier selection. In the US, it danced between AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon depending on who had the best signal. In Europe, it just worked after landing. I invested 3 weeks of varied, practical use and kept coming back to the same finding. This solves the travel chaos problem. Pricing-wise, the app's plans vary a lot. You'll pay more for one-off global passes and less if you grab regional or monthly packs. If you're a heavy streamer, you'll chew through data quickly and it can get pricey. But if your workload is emails, docs, maps, rideshares, a few calls, and light streaming, the pay-as-you-go model makes sense. Compared to a phone eSIM, the G4 Pro's advantage is sharing and redundancy. Compared to a traditional unlocked hotspot, CloudSIM removes the SIM roulette when you cross borders. Is it too good to be true? No, it's 4G LTE only, so do not expect 5G burst speeds. The app and activation are better than they used to be, but still mildly clunky. Customer reviews at 3.9 stars reflect that trade-off. Great for convenience seekers, mixed for power users who want unlimited, cheap, and fast all at once. Bottom line, it's a travel tool, not a home router replacement. Now that you know the real edge is consistency and carrier redundancy, not raw speed, you'll want to secure it before your next multi-country trip or busy travel season. I've linked the best current price and any promos below so you can save and get the right data pack for your route. Verdict time. If you're a frequent traveler, a digital nomad crossing borders, a family who wants to share one connection, or someone who's been burned by roaming and SIM drama, the GlocalMe G4 Pro is worth it at $179.99. If you're chasing 5G speeds, streaming hours of HD video daily, or staying in one country where a cheap local SIM or eSIM will do, skip it. For me, it earned a spot in my travel kit because it reduced friction every day. Don't waste your money expecting a speed demon. Spend it on a reliable wingman that keeps you connected when it matters.